kills your team, kills your chances. I know only one team ends the season the way they want to, and it's disappointing that this season didn't end the way we wanted it to.
I've heard coaches and players say never make emotional decisions when you're emotional. Give it some time. We'll see what Ben Roethlisberger decides moving forward. They started 11-0, but they were showing a bit of a wobble there, right? And then Washington went in there and beat them, and they end up losing 5 of their last 6.
I won't forget it. I won't forget it. Don't worry.
Don't get shy, Dick.
Yeah, right. All right, here we are. Welcome to our third episode of analyzing whether it's sports talk, movie talk, TV talk, or just in general talk. So let's just get started with Sunday's action, starting with Game 1, Baltimore, Tennessee. I had Baltimore, and you two had Tennessee. I think we just need to recap kind of what Kyle said the other day. We wanted to go based on not who we wanted to win, but who we thought was going to win. And I think that's very important here because I did not want to see Baltimore win because I do not like Baltimore because they used to be Cleveland. But I chose them to win because I really felt deep down that that's who was going to win. So that's how I arrived at picking Baltimore for the win, and that's what happened. And we got Lucky joining us on the couch now as well for the conversation. But Sam, how did you feel about that game there?
I was not happy. I did not want Baltimore to win. Tennessee, I'm not a Tennessee fan, but they kind of disappointed me because I wanted them to win. They lost by a damn touchdown, and I was hoping there was a little more time on the clock for them to possibly come back and win the game, but that wasn't possible, and that doesn't happen in football these days. So you win some, you lose some. That's all I got to say. Kyle?
The biggest reason the Titans lost that game is Derrick Henry only had 40 rushing yards. If he doesn't score, the chances are the Titans will lose a game, and they did that today. That was very rare to see.
Yeah, definitely not what I was anticipating seeing for sure. I guess there's a stat out there that if he doesn't rush, that the Titans do not fare well, and that definitely was the case today. Lamar Jackson, again, stepping it up with his legs and running all over the place, and he definitely showed that you definitely have to contain him. So
he showed he's a great running back.
Yeah, not a quarterback.
136 rushing yards, led the team, of course. Pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
In Game 2, we had the Saints easily take care of the Bears. Just a last-minute touchdown is what made the score 9-4 for the Bears, but it really was not even a contest at the end of the day.
No, it wasn't.
And Sandal picked the Bears.
Yes, I did.
To win, and myself and Kyle, we went with the Saints. I think just simply because, at least in my eyes, that the Bears really got in by chance. Arizona would have probably been the much better matchup for the Saints, but it just didn't happen. Sam?
Well, yes, it didn't happen with the Bears. I mean, I did take the Bears to win over the Saints. I really thought they were going to. I thought Mitch Trubisky was going to play his game, but obviously he didn't. There was one last, I just seen on the TV, one last touchdown by what's his name there?
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham, one-handed and goes into the tunnel and says goodbye because that was the last play of the game. They still lost 21-9. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
It's a loser, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think it was a very boring game. Probably the worst game of the weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
I was surprised to see, I believe it was 7-3 at the half. That
Yes.
surprised me.
Yes, it was.
And I was actually like, wow. Like, I think, the Bears got the ball to start the second half. I was like, wow, they actually might keep it a game in the second half. But, of course, they just could not find offense. And actually, Alvin Kamara had under 100 rushing yards and just one touchdown. And if the Bears had some kind of offense, like, look, 239 total yards, that's just not going to win you a game. If they had some kind of offense, I think the game would have been much closer, like maybe a field goal difference.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was the worst game of the week, for sure.
Yeah, 1 of 10 on third downs today, compared to 11 for 17 for the Saints. I mean, time of possession, Saints control the game big time.
Yeah, they shut down the Bears.
And we saw Michael Thomas, right?
Yep.
Get back on the board.
Yep.
First touchdown of his season. I know he was out a lot, but good to see him get back on the board.
Yes, he was on the injured reserve, and he got back in the game and on the board. Yes.
First time those three have been on the field, I think.
In a while.
Yeah, quite some time. So now to the exciting Sunday night game between the Browns and the Steelers. I think all but Sano. Sano picked the Steelers, and me and Kyle picked Cleveland. Again, just a surprising turn of events to start the contest with a poorly snapped ball on a shotgun.
The first snap at that.
Yeah,
of the game.
The whole game, yeah. And Cleveland recovers in the end zone for the touchdown, followed by an interception on the next set, which led to a Jarvis Landry touchdown. So the Browns pulling it off. The Steelers did make it interesting down the stretch, but
Yeah, but it wasn't enough.
wasn't enough. Yeah, it's crazy how Roethlisberger put up 500 yards and they lost.
Passing yards, yes. And
That's
they
crazy.
and they still lost. It's all right. No big deal. I had the Steelers winning this game, but you know what? As I said before, just a few minutes ago, you win some, you lose some. Steelers just didn't pull it off tonight. And their season's done. Not sure about Big Ben. I seen on the TV that there was no talk about retirement. So, and Kyle insisted that his career might be done. We shall see in the offseason.
He does have 1 year left on his contract, so we shall see, as you said. Kyle, what are your takes on the game?
Well, I knew the Browns were winning that game. I told you guys on camera 2 nights ago that the Browns were going to win this game. But 48 points, that's insane. Against the Steelers defense, I was just shocked about that. But I guess Pittsburgh deserves some credit for putting as much points on the board as they did in the second half. They fought, they battled. Because when you look up at the scoreboard and you see 28-0 in a playoff game after the first quarter, it's hard to get motivated. It's hard to get going. And I guess Mike Tomlin delivered a good halftime speech to the team because they fought real hard. And credit to the Browns. I mean, they started falling apart a little bit offensively in the second half, but that Nick Chubb receiving touchdown was huge, and they pulled away. And good win for the Browns. First playoff win in 25 years. And they definitely deserve it. And the fans of Cleveland, I'm happy for them. And I hope they play the Bills in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if Cleveland next week against Kansas City. We can analyze and break down our thoughts on the next round. Maybe give our predictions later in the week, but it's really, really going to be interesting to see how both of these AFC matchups, break down. I think Buffalo has definitely got a challenge ahead of them with Jackson. But really, I think if the Bills can contain the run game, I really don't think they would have a problem with Baltimore because has Lamar Jackson even passed for over 300 yards this season? Probably not. So I mean, I think that's going to be the key to that game. If we have to pick a key now, the key to that game is Buffalo stopping the run, and I really do think they can do it. So, what are your thoughts there, Sam?
Against the
Baltimore against Buffalo.
Buffalo's got to be on their A game. I mean, Josh Allen's got to play his game. He's got to throw. He's got to throw some good, decent passes and give it to Diggs, give it to Josh or Cole Beasley, give it to Gabe Davis. Whoever's open, throw it. Give it to him. Let him get some yards in. They need to win. If they want to go on to the Super Bowl, they need to win.
Is that all for you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Caesar's definitely right. But here's my thing. Lamar rushed for 136 yards today. The Titans couldn't really stop him on the ground, obviously. But they only put up a lousy 21 points against a terrible Titans defense. That right there gives me confidence. You rush for 136 yards, but you score a lousy 21 points. If the Titans had any type of offense, they would have won that game. I guarantee the Buffalo Bills scored more than 13 points. So I think the Bills can get it done. So that's my take on the game. I'm confident going into
I am
this
too.
week.
I really am too.
Taking a look at the Baltimore, the Cleveland and Kansas City game. Kansas City, week off, well rested, coming in. Cleveland, hopefully, back to full strength, and hopefully we can get past this COVID issue that we've had over the past several weeks. I think, it could be a really, really great contest. I foresee if I have a chance to get over to Del Lago and play the over, I think I will or would. I think it's going to be a gunslinging shootout. Tough to say though right now. I really have to sit and think about who, my heart. And, being a Browns fan, I would want the Browns to win, but I really have to sit and take and analyze and really take a look statistically at what this Kansas City team really looks like. I mean, obviously, we all know that they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now in Mahomes, potential MVP candidate for this year as well. And, there's definitely no doubt that kid is for real. They got lots of weapons, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Tons of weapons.
But for them right now, their run game is going to be, a challenge as their running back is out for the season.
Yes, he is.
I could see, obviously, Kansas City winning, but my heart would go with Cleveland. But again, really have to sit, analyze, and decide which way I want to go for, like Kyle said, who we really truly feel is going to win, not who we biasly want to win. So, I'll give my predictions later on that. Key again, Cleveland's really going to have to contain Mahomes. And if they, again, it all comes down to the run game. If you can prevent them from running, I really think Cleveland has a chance. I mean, I know today Cleveland's defense super stepped up, 4 INTs, and then recovering that fumble was huge for sure. If we can get another great defensive performance next week, we definitely have a chance. Anybody has a chance, though. Anybody who can step up. If you have 4 turnovers in your behalf, it's really hard to beat anybody. That way.
That's true.
So we'll have to just wait and see what happens with that. Sano, what's your take on Kansas City and Cleveland?
Well, I think it's going to be a tough game, to be honest with you. Mahomes, he likes to run the ball too. Not as much as Lamar Jackson, but Mahomes does like to run the ball. He like Caesar said, that he does have a lot of weapons to throw to, and I don't know if their running backs out for the season. I just heard maybe they'll I don't know, go with Le'Veon Bell. Maybe, who knows? But I don't know. It's gonna be a tough call on that game. I foresee KC winning, but I'm not positive on that. It's gonna be a tough game. That's it for me.
Here's my take. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to put up points. There's no stopping that. But there should be a number that the Browns try to limit them to. I would say if they hold them to around 25 points, that would be successful. I think the biggest way you can hold them to 25 points is if your running game's sharp and you keep long drives going and you keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. That's a really big key for the Browns. And they certainly can run the football. They have 2 really good running backs. And like tonight, turnovers would also be huge. And capitalizing them, finishing drives in the red zone. Cody Parkey field goals aren't good enough against the Chiefs team. So I think it's certainly possible. It's going to be very tough. We don't know how Mahomes is going to play coming off 2 bye weeks because he didn't play week 17. Is he going to be a little rusty?
That's a good point.
Is he going to be sharp because he has rest? Personally, I think he's going to come out a little rusty. I think it's going to take time for them to get going again. But I still think if you limit them, keep your offense on the field, create maybe 2 turnovers, I think you're set up well, and you could upset the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. So we'll see what happens. I'll have a score prediction later in the week. I think I'm going to be rooting for the Browns, though, but we'll see.
Yeah, you made a very good point with the running game for Cleveland with Chubb and with Kareem Hunt. I mean, today they combined for over 205 yards of from scrimmage, which is again huge for them. Chubb with a huge run for a touchdown. Hunt had 2 touchdown runs, and if they can keep that momentum going, keep them involved, because against the Jets they did not. They did not go even. They had no wide receivers at all, and they did not utilize their running game for some reason. Not sure why, what happened there, but they definitely did not do that. They need to continue to pound and grind. That's what got them where they are. And Baker Mayfield, again, today I didn't really see a lot of play out of the bootleg or the play or action or whatever they call it. So I think they need to incorporate that a little more as well. If you have a good run game, play action comes with that. So if they can, put those 2 things into play, like Kyle said, keep Mahomes off the field, better opportunity for the Browns to take home the victory.
Yeah, they can't do what they did in the second half tonight and have those quick 3-and-outs. Like some of those drives that they had in the second half were like a minute, just over a minute. That's not good. You're putting Mahomes right back on the field. Then that also means that your defense will be tired, and they have weapons. They can wear you down.
Yep.
So time of possession is very, very key in this game. And the good thing is the Chiefs don't have a top 5 defense like the Steelers do. The Steelers, I think, are a top 5 defense, of course. We saw the numbers tonight on the screen with the sacks and all those different records that they've broken. So they were a good defensive team. That's why it did shock me seeing that the Browns put up 48. But look, they're capable of scoring that many points. They can beat the Chiefs. It's all about executing, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because the Browns only had one defensive touchdown tonight.
Yeah.
Just that fumble. So they like you said, they have shown that they can put up offensively the points. So I'm excited, finally, for all of us, we get to see our teams playing for, a second week in a row. And that really, really, means a lot to us, especially because we've been waiting for so long. I mean, you guys were there last year, but again, both of us, 25 years since our last playoff win. And it's great to finally see our organizations, rising up and, trying to make their cities proud. Now moving over to the NFC, we have the Saints going up against, who are they going up against?
Chicago.
Not next week.
The Bucks. They're going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Breeze matchup.
Yep.
For the third time this season. And neither one of those matchups were close.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see how that game shakes out. I would love to be pulling for the Saints for sure because I was never really a huge. I support Brady. I like Brady. He's a great quarterback. I think I said yesterday, greatest of all time, more than likely.
He's not a GOAT. Sorry.
You're crazy if you don't think that he is. But anyway, it's tough. The Saints have all their weapons back, and man, I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's tough to beat a team 3 times. I mean, Baltimore just proved it. They lost to them last year in the playoffs. They lost to them this year during the regular season. And the third time, they turn around and they win. So it's very, very tough to beat a team 3 consecutive times, especially at this level. So for the Saints to pull this one off, they're really, really, I think, going to have to number one, play tough D against Brady. Captain check down, hitting those quick slants. You got to contain them for sure. And then I don't know, is Jones going to be back for them next week?
I think so, but I'm not sure. But Leonard Fournette played really well this past week.
I forget that they have 2 number 1 running backs on their squad. If Fournette was someplace else, he would have had an amazing season. He proved that with Jacksonville.
Yep.
So, Santa, what are your thoughts
about the Tampa Bay New Orleans game? Lordy. I don't know. It's going to be a good matchup. I don't know. New Orleans look good today. It might be a turnaround next week. I don't know. It's tough. I really can't really say much because I don't know. That's it for me anyway.
Well, I don't think either team is going to score over 30 points. I think it's going to be very tight. I think the defenses are going to make plays. I think Brady will struggle a little bit because the Saints have a good pass rush. They have a good defense. And if we've seen in the past, if you put pressure on Brady, especially this year, he's made some bad decisions, bad throws. Obviously, every quarterback does that. But, like, you're playing a really good Saints team. So if you do that, you're probably going to lose. But I'm not sure who I think's going to win yet. I'll have a prediction later in the week. But right now, I think I'm going to lean towards the Saints. This is an early score prediction, but I'm probably not going to stick with it. I'm thinking Saints 27-23. So we'll see what happens.
And in the second game, you have Green Bay going up against the Rams.
Ooh.
Me personally, I don't even think this is going to be that much of a contest, although the Rams do have a great defense. But Rodgers and Adams clicking, it's going to be, I think, it's going to be
the Rodgers-Adams show.
Yeah, no. I don't see Green Bay losing, but only time will tell as we, and knowing in football, anything can happen. But I think they're pretty tough. Run game, I think, is going to have to be on for sure for Green Bay. But yeah, I don't know. Adams and Rodgers are just, I think, too tough. I really feel probably the best 1-2 punch in the game, for sure. Just in my opinion.
My opinion, I think the same way. I think Green Bay is going to be a little bit too tough for the Los Angeles Rams. I'm not gonna even give a score prediction because I really don't know. But I know it's gonna be there's no winning for the Rams, not at all.
Guys are going to be shocked. And you're going to be shocked when it happens.
We will be.
The Los Angeles Rams are going to make enough plays, and they are going to pull off an upset. And I'm telling you, I'm being serious. I think the Rams are going to be in this game, and they're going to make a defensive play like they did this past week against the Seahawks. And the Rams are going to pull off a major, major upset. You heard it here first. We'll talk again later this week. I don't think I'm changing my thought. I'm feeling real good about that Rams defense. And Jared Goff, he'll have more time to rest his thumb or whatever he has, make more adjustments. I thought he threw the ball pretty okay, but the reason they won is their defense, and that's the reason why they'll beat the Packers. I think Adams will have his touchdowns. Maybe he'll have 2, but I think overall the Rams will make a play when they need to in the fourth quarter, and they'll win the game.
Only time will tell.
That's right.
Just for giggles, I don't really watch college football, but I think we should just throw a little prediction out there for tomorrow's Alabama-Ohio State game.
National championship.
And again, I know nothing.
Buckeyes versus the Alabama, whatever the fucking what the hell they call it? I forgot now. Crimson Tide. Thank you.
All right.
The Alabama Crimson Tide. That's going to be a game of the century right there, man.
Century. Huh?
Yeah. But
So can you go first? Who do you got in this game? And we need a score prediction.
I'm thinking Ohio State 34-30. Might not happen. Might not happen, but that's going to be my prediction.
All right. I thought I was going to lean towards Alabama, but I'm going Ohio State as well. I think Justin Fields, if you guys even know who that is their starting quarterback.
I know Justin Fields.
He's had a heck of a year. He might actually go number 1 in the NFL draft. It was supposed to be Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence did not play as well as Justin Fields was down the stretch, and I'm wondering if Jacksonville's going to have different thoughts, especially if he goes and wins a national championship and plays really well. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to say Ohio State 37, Alabama 27.
And for me, again, I know nothing whatsoever about college football. I know that Alabama isn't that the team that Forrest Gump was playing for in Forrest Gump. And they held up the signs to tell them to stop. I believe I know a little bit about Alabama. They got a very great reputation.
Yeah, they win a lot.
Yeah.
They're like they were like the Patriots with Tom Brady. They win. That's basically all they do.
Them and Clemson are usually
Clemson
up at the top. But Ohio State, I'm going to go with Ohio State, and I'll tell you why. A couple of reasons. My buddy Chris Chase lives down there in Columbus, Ohio. He's a huge Ohio State fan. And I know he goes to all the games. When COVID wasn't here, he was there all the time. He lives there. And then Gino Chicarico is a huge Ohio State fan. And
Is he really?
I did not know that.
he's a huge Ohio State fan. So I'm going to pull for them for my buddy Gino. And college football to me always seems to be high scoring. And I don't foresee that changing tomorrow. So I'm going with a huge 44-38 victory for Ohio State. I could be way off on that prediction because, again, don't know anything about college football. But I thought it'd be fun just to throw this in here for those who are not watching. So that's my prediction.
Yep. that is my prediction.
I don't know if we're all going for Ohio State just because we live up here in the north.
How are you feeling on the camera today?
Feeling good.
I'm not sweaty today.
No.
Are you sweaty? Yeah. All righty. So that's it. That's where we're at. And again, I still have to figure out a name for what we're calling this channel. But just taking and analyzing stuff, and again, all for fun. You know, our way of just sharing our opinions, and you know, not looking for any negativity here, just straight good fun. Not trying to offend anybody by any means. I don't think we really have, you know, touched on anything that would offend anybody.
No political stuff here, guys. Don't worry.
Definitely no politics here.
Yeah, no politics.
Definitely, they have nothing to do with that. And for me, anyway, I don't care. Whoever, you know, is the best person is the best person. Period. You know, and then when we're analyzing players and things of that nature, like, you know, we understand that we don't know these people in real life, and all we know is what we see in front of us on our screens every day, or if we have a chance to watch them play in person. So, you know, not knowing them in real life, even though we say we might dislike them, truthfully, how can we really dislike somebody when we don't know them? Like Sano hates Tom Brady, but does he really hate Tom Brady?
Yes, I do.
Which is funny to me because he doesn't know him to make that kind of a judgment.
It's okay.
But based on what he sees on TV and who he's a fan of, he's a Bills fan. He dislikes Tom Brady because Tom Brady whooped Buffalo's ass for years, and that's why he doesn't like him. And I can understand that. Like me with Aaron Judge. Maybe Aaron Judge will see this and can make this right. He told my daughter he was going to sign her baseball. I get it. It happens. I don't take it personally, but she surely did. She was only 8 years old at the time, maybe 7. And you said you were coming back to sign her ball, buddy, and you didn't do it, and it devastated her. So anytime I say number 99's up, guess what she does? I can't stand him. Even though we're Yankee fans, I tell her, you gotta cheer for Aaron. And she's like, nope, not doing it. So if you're out there listening, Mr. Judge, make it right. Guys have anything you want to add?
I think the Yankees are going to have a fabulous season this year. I really like to see them win and hopefully go on to the World Series this year.
It's kind of hard to predict what the Yankees are going to do right now. We don't even know if we have LeMahieu coming back.
True.
We don't know what our pitching looks like. And Kyle would know more than any of us as to what the status
I
of
have
the
news
Yankees.
for you guys tonight.
Uh-oh.
I didn't tell you because the Browns game was on. According to a reporter from Yahoo Sports, LeMahieu's getting fed up with the Yankees' money situation, and he told his representatives that he would like to start re-engaging in talks with other teams again, such as the Dodgers, Cardinals, Red Sox, and Blue Jays. So we'll see where that goes. He's reportedly looking for 5 years, $110 million. And it sounds like the Yankees only want to go for $90 million. So we'll see what happens. I will be very frustrated if the Yankees cannot work out a deal with him after the player he's been the last 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, finding a favorite Yankee right now has been kind of hard. I was huge with, I love Jeter. I love Paul O'Neill. I love Soriano, Cano. Just in this new Yankee regime, collectively, I mean, obviously, I love the Yankees, period. I mean, if you were able to see the room next door, you would understand that I'm a Yankee fan. But I've really had a hard time grasping one specific Yankee until LeMahieu came. I really like the way he plays. He works hard. He can play anywhere. Great utility player. He's stepped up and done everything that the Yankees have asked him to. So why wouldn't you want to keep him, and make him, give him what he wants?
Yeah, reward him for what he's done for your organization.
It's unbelievable to me that they have not, closed this deal by now. And
we are a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting to Tampa, and we still have no deal with DJ LeMahieu. That is crazy. I thought a deal would be done in December during the winter meetings, but nope. So I understand LeMahieu's frustration. He doesn't know where he's going to play, and he wants to figure it out. And the Yankees won't take 5 years, it sounds like. And he wants to get paid, and he deserves it. Other teams are going to go ahead and offer him what he wants. But he wants to stay in New York. That's why he hasn't signed a deal with somebody else. So I think he's going to end up making a deal with another team. Or he might tell a team, like, hey, what would you offer? And then go back to the Yankees and ask them one more time, will you give me 5 years? And if they say no, he signs a deal with that team. And I really, really could see him going out to LA or Toronto. Toronto would love to have him and would be huge. So we'll see what happens. But I'm assuming a deal would get done very shortly. Yeah, Sano, your prediction about the Yankees having an outstanding year. I mean, it's a little too early for that.
I know.
And every regular season we do play really well. It's the postseason that things fall apart.
Yeah, true. It is.
So
It is.
Which is so crazy because
I had a big bold prediction though.
it's crazy to me because every year on paper, everybody has the Yanks on top. I mean, Yanks came out of the gate really well last year. I think in a 162 game season, we end up, winning the East with no problem. I mean, injuries with 60 games, it's kind of hard to come back from that. So, I mean, you had Judge out for a while last year. Stanton was out for quite some time last year as well, which has been his story since he's been with the Yankees. So, LeMahieu was out for a little bit, with an injury as well.
Urshela was.
Right. So, I mean, there was a lot of different factors that played into the Yanks not winning that division, even though everybody expected it on paper.
Yeah.
But you remove factors, just like with COVID with the NFL, you remove specific factors, it changes the outcomes of the game for sure. And I think even in the postseason, I think analytics really cost us as well. I think postseason, there is no analytic on with COVID, especially. What's the analytic on playing in the same stadium for 5 consecutive days with no rest in between? I mean, what's that analytic with no fans in the stands and you can hear a pin drop? They don't have analytics on that, and I think sometimes teams get caught up too much in analytics. They make moves with analytics in mind instead of going based on the current situation. I mean, you don't know if a pitcher has a blister on his finger at the point in time that he's in the game, or if, something is on his mind. We don't know those things, and we still go with analytics.
Very good point.
I'm not a fan of analytics, never have been. Managing in that style to me it drives me crazy. You got to go with the hot hand in the playoffs and put the analytics aside. Yeah, analytics might have got you there, but at the end of the day, analytics is not going to win. And I think they've kind of proven this a little bit too. Analytics is not going to win. It's who's hot.
They showed that in the World Series. Blake Snell, 6 innings, 1 hit. He goes out there for the 7th. He gives up a leadoff single. They pull him. Why? The analytics said, 3rd time to the order, hitters hit 300 against him. But he was rolling. He gave up 1 leadoff single, and it was a 1-2 count. And you pull him, the first batter, you can't give him another batter. You know what happens? They go to their best reliever. What does he do? Comes in, gives up 2, blows the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's just.
And then Blake Snell gets traded this offseason. Their ace pitcher, or one of their top pitchers. Can't blame him. I would not want to stick around there too for getting pulled in a World Series game because your manager doesn't believe in you and goes by the analytics. So
it's crazy. I mean, just like me and you have talked about this before, going and putting in our relief pitcher in a situation where I really, from watching him over the years, Chapman, with coming into a game when he's not really ready. We saw it with him in Chicago during the World Series. We've seen it with him not once, but twice in the past 2 years as a Yankee in a situation to where he's coming into the game where he doesn't have that time to shut you down mentality.
Yeah.
I mean,
both times he came into a tied game.
It's not his situation. I don't understand how, if you're talking about analytics right there, that should be an analytic for him, knowing that he's got to come in knowing he's got 1-run lead. I'm shutting you down 1, 2, 3. That's him. Not coming in the 8th and trying to get 6 outs. on a tie game.
Or pulling a hot Clint Frazier out of the lineup for Brett Gardner because he has good career numbers against the righty.
And I agree. You're using, again, analytics again
Yep.
on age.
Yep. Because of his experience, he's had more at-bats, and when he has had at-bats, Gardner's been successful. But they won't go with a guy who's been hitting 400 in the last 4 games. When these at-bats that Gardner had could have been 2 years ago against this pitcher.
Absolutely. And with age, things change with age.
Yep.
So
Yeah, analytics are stupid. They need to throw their clipboards and all their notes out in the garbage and use their gut. Do what their gut tells them.
and for those out there who believe in analytics, it's your opinion. It's our opinion. And, we know that analytics is what makes the world go round in all the sports we're seeing now.
Yeah.
I mean, in basketball, I'm sure they're using that same scenario. They're trying to put the pieces together based on analytics. And I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. Sports has been around for a long time without the analytic. If that's how the A's won, fine. That's how the A's won. It doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody.
Yankees are big into it too. For years they've been now.
Yeah.
Sucks. Even Joe Girardi back then. So
Yeah.
life goes on.
What happened to the day of letting that starting pitcher go? It's. I guess you're paying people to do all this stuff. But anyway, I hear a phone going off. I'm going to hear a shower start here in a minute. So that means that is the end of our broadcast here. And we thank everybody who is not watching for watching. And what a great, super wild card weekend we had.
Yeah.
Bills advance, Browns advance, and everybody's happy. We'll see what next week will bring. And we may check in tomorrow just to recap the national championship game. So
Time's that game on?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock at night.
ESPN.
And ESPN. That ought to be I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, I'll probably catch some of it for sure.
Or at least throw it on and have it on in the background,
All right.
Yeah, and then we can maybe talk a little bit of NBA tomorrow because we haven't talked about the NBA.
Orlando Magic, Miami Heat, New York Knicks.
No, he used to be a Knicks fan.
Lakers.
He used to be a Bulls fan.
Yeah, I used to be a Bulls fan. When all the good players left,
So that's it. Here from the Cesar Ortiz National Public Library in Lyons, New York, located in Wayne County in New York State.
in the county of Wayne, in the country of the United States of America, on the continent of North America, in the Southern Hemisphere,
Southern Hemisphere?
or what Western Hemisphere, and out on East Bum, you know what.
See you soon.
Out in the Middle West.
Freaking Lakers. Are you kidding me?